Everyone, back for another weekly outlook. So I had a great week last week. So in the free Discord, I shared a few setups. I shared two setups, one being AUD USD, which ended up being a break-even trade. So went back to entry for no loss because he moved our stop loss to entry as it hit our risk-free target. And the second trade being CAD JPY, which is currently around market close. It reached around 150 pips, just shy of it. Right now, it's actually coming up to retest structure, possibly give another entry. So I'll cover that in a second. So let's go ahead and have a look at the market. So for the dollar, I'm actually overall I favor further downside, but right now, based on what I'm seeing, I'm actually looking for more of a push up in the dollar. It's gonna be very interesting to see where it goes from here. Although we have had this corrective phase that I've been talking about now, we've had a big push up into this 96.5, 97 region that I was calling back in early November. I was really looking for this to pull back down to 94.5, 94. Hasn't quite done that yet. That doesn't mean it worked. But right now, we have to keep in mind it is very, very bullish on the weekly. So this could just be having its corrective move, forming a new higher high, higher low, and then moving on from there. Go to the daily. It does also look like a break and retest of major structure here at 95, sort of 900, 96. So we could see, I do actually overall favor this just based on what I'm seeing now. But then if I look at the lower time frame, such as like the 4 hour, I am seeing a lot of price action that indicates he might actually break through this. So right now, as you guys know, I don't trade with a bias. I just flow with whatever the market tells me to, which I feel like is where a lot of traders go wrong, is they don't actually flow with the market. They just kind of, it's coming to the week and they're like, okay, I'm bullish on a dollar, therefore I'm buying the dollar. You don't want to do that. You want to be able to just flow with it and swap your bias on whether you're buying or selling a currency or a pair based on what price you see for that day or whatever it is. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just gonna be watching the dollar here, and if we can continue to respect this, then we will see a push lower. Otherwise, you might get that break higher, and then from there, I'll update you guys. But I'll be watching this pretty close this week, as this will affect our pairs. A lot of our pairs actually show signs of dollar strength. So like Euro USD, NZD USD, GBP USD, all kind of show downside, which gives more reason to think dollar strength. But we'll see what happens. Again, never married to the bias. Just flow whatever the market tells us. CAD JPY, let's have a look at this one. Actually, I'll cover this one last. AUD USD. So possibly a buy setup here. Again, regardless of what the dollar is doing, I like to treat every pair individually and trade what I see. Okay, because we could get some messy price action on the DXY or the dollar, which could make it look like the dollar is going to go up, but then we might see something like AUD USD go higher, and then later on the dollar had a fake out and then moved lower, right? So I just trade whatever I see. Right now I am seeing a possible double bottom here at 1.71, sort of 700, 750. So what I would want to see here is I'd want to see price come back down in the 1 hour, respect this, and then give us a nice buy opportunity. That would be the setup I'd be looking for. So maybe even on the 30-minute, if it comes down, it gives you some pin bars, some bullish engulfings, closing in and above the zone. I'd be looking for a buy off here, and I'd be looking to take this up into the highs. However, I actually favor this to go down. The reason for that is higher time frame structure indicates a move lower, plus the dollar kind of looks like it might go up higher. Weekly as well, it looks like it's just making a bearish move lower. It just does. It looks like we've come up now to retest 1.725 region, and now we've rolled over. But that doesn't mean short term we couldn't see another buy up into here, right? So just again, I flow with whatever the market tells me. Overall, what my favorite sort of setup this week is actually a retest of 1.72. So even if you get the buy from here, you could look to take it up into here and then monitor it and maybe close it or even hedge it, which means take the buy and then take the sell from here if it gives it. But right now, this is what I am favoring, is a push up at 0.72, retest that for a move lower, so like this. So price has broken it. I'm going to use this as support to get that corrective move up in the 0.72, retest that for a move lower into the lows down here. With it, I mean, again, if this level here breaks at this 0.717, 750, we could see some major lows hit, especially if we get that bullishness on the dollar. So overall, that's what I favor. But again, if price is going to push up in here, you might as well take the buy, because on the odd chance that maybe this does break higher, you could be in a really, really big move. And plus, we are seeing a nice reversal pattern right here. This is just gorgeous price action. So yeah, I'd be looking for that. So again, for the entry, on the 30-minute, if this can come down here, give some pin bars, bullish engulfings, I'd be looking to buy that. An entry, this is just an example. Okay, so for AUD USD, I usually do 15 to 20 pips as an average, 10 to 20 pips as an average. Usually it's 15. I like to be a bit more conservative. But like, again, something like this, minimum RR I like to take is a 1 to 3, but I'd be taking this on the basis that it's probably going to break higher, and I'd make sure I'm risk-free by here. That way, if it does push up, you can look to take the sell, and that way, no matter what happens, you win, because bird trades will probably reach break even and move into profit from there. So that's what I'd be looking for on that. So keep an eye out for that. CAD JPY, I'll cover that one last. NZD USD, very similar price action. So let me go to the weekly here. Looks very, very bearish, right? We are at weekly levels though. Again, we haven't really been below this level of 0.67 since back in November of 2020. And that was when we kind of broke through. So this could technically be like a break retest of 0.67. I mean, it's a possibility. I'd want to see some higher time frame price action to indicate that, which right now I just don't. But we are still above 0.67. Regardless how bearish this is, that's irrelevant. What matters is the price it is respecting. So what I would want to see here is, I mean, I'd be looking for buys from here. Like, that would be my bias right now, is I'm looking for buys, which can always change. So before I get into the current price action, remember guys, I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I shared these setups here. I shared the buy setup, the first one, which gave a 1 to 7.4, and then the second one gave a 1 to 5.3. So just between that, you guys could have passed an FTMO, made 12% right there. All you need is 10 to do your challenge. So right now on this, what I'd be looking for is a possible buy setup from here. So again, very similar to 80 USD. If this can come down, and I'd be pretty conservative with this, what I would want to see is, yeah, if this can come down like this and give some bullish price action, like pin bars, bullish engulfings, maybe even like lower time frame patterns, like even this would be the ideal setup, is something like this. A push down to 0.67, a fake out, and then you get like something like this. That would be the absolute ideal scenario for an entry, just so you have that, because 0.67 is so close, it's likely that we'll tap and possibly fake out. So that is really what I'd be looking for. Now guys, keep in mind 80 USD and NZD USD are correlated, so I would not trade both. Okay, and if you do trade both, I would try and either reduce your risk, so maybe do half risk on each one, or let's say for example you take a trade on NZD USD first, I would get that trade risk free before you consider taking a position on 80 USD, because if they were to both lose, you would lose both trades. Like if NZD USD was to lose, you'd probably lose both trades because they move so they're so correlated, they move together, right? So keep that in mind. I cover both pairs just in case, you know, I know some of you guys like to trade NU more than AU, so keep that in mind, all right? But if you do get the buy from here, I'd be targeting back up here at 0.67800, because what we could see is a move up into here like this, and then if it does go lower, we could see something like that, because again, this level broke at 0.678 and has not been retested. So that would be a pretty nice little trade. Again, like something like this, hypothetically, would be, you know, be a nice 75 pip trade, and you know, you probably would take like a 15 to 20 pip stop loss. Guys, if you know, for those who are newer or aren't in the mentorship program, I would suggest going a wider stop loss, like 20 to 25 pips, just because again, you know, we monitor our trades. My students were all taught how to monitor price action. If it does come to the stop loss, we don't let it stop us out. We monitor just in case it's a fake out. So they know what to look for in those instances. So I would always suggest doing a bit wider of a stop loss until you figure out what works for you, or you become a mentorship student, and that way you can learn how we do it. So that's what I'd be looking for there. Last one, gold. So gold here, break retest of 1830, 1830 level. I'd be looking for buys from here. This looks like a clear buy. We have a nice little reversal pattern here. If this was to come down and give one more tap like this on like the 30-minute, like there's a few trades lining up, which is quite interesting. A few trades lining up here. If this can come down and give like another tap and give us some price action like this, some pin bars, bullish engulfings on the 15, on the 30, like something like that would be beautiful for an entry. Or even like a 1 hour pin bar like this, I'd be definitely looking for buys from here. For example, again, something like that. If obviously the lower in the zone you get, the better your entry can be, and the tighter your stop loss can be. Something like that. I personally don't trade gold. I used to. I don't really trade it. I like to stick with just Forex. But I mean, the way I trade, works perfect on gold as well. And from here, I'd be targeting up in the highs. So I'd be targeting. I mean, think about it. Last time we broke through this price point, where did we go? We hit around this 1870 region. So you really could look for a buy up in 1870. Obviously, it's a lot of room to go, so it would take a little bit. But yeah, that'd be a really nice buy. I mean, that'd be a nice 1 to 8, 1 to 9 if we reach that or even go higher. I mean, let's have a look at the daily real quick or the weekly. I mean, this thing is, you know, making higher highs and higher lows, but very, very bullish. Like, I mean, this is just beautiful price action. Just looking at this, it does look like it could come down a little bit lower. So keep in mind, if this does actually not give the price action and it ends up breaking, what I would expect to see is something like this, a retest of 1810, and then we'd see the move higher. That would be the ideal setup, because obviously you could probably catch the sell and the buy. But yeah, so that's something to look for coming into Monday, Tuesday on those pairs. Last one is CAD JPY. So I covered this in depth last week. Going to continue to cover this. Quite a few of you are in this. I mean, one of you guys sent me your screenshot of your MT4. You made like 3K, which is just insane. You know, some of you guys have passed, or not passed, but done a good chunk of your FTMO challenger verifications. You know, getting them in profit, passing this. So I mean, that's amazing, guys. Like, that's why I do this challenge, to help you guys. So you know, it's amazing to see that this channel has, you know, helped some of you guys learn and also make money, which is just astounding. So on this, I'm actually expecting a lot of downside. I'm talking back down to maybe 88, 87.5 region, 87.8 region, just because again we failed to make new highs. Like, this just looks really, really clean. Is there a fib here? I don't really trade with fibs, to be honest. I kind of just chuck them on just to see. I mean, it's respecting a fib level of 78.6. So long term, you know, we could see 86 region here hit. That'd be very, very nice move. What would that be for price action wise? From our current, it'd be another 450 pips. Guys, it's not unheard of. It's like, you can catch these trades all the time. So currently around 150 pips in profit. Right now, what I'm looking for, guys, I'd be looking for a second entry on this to scale in. So if this can come up and retest, which it is currently, I'd be looking for something like this on like the 30-minute or the 1 hour, something like this, and you'd be in. So you wait for like the secondary tap, or maybe even the fake out move like this. Boom, boom, boom. You get in like that. That's what I'd be looking for, and then you'd be riding this sucker down and monitoring at each zone. So our next target on this is this 89,800 region. So again, that for our first trade, which is running right now around 150 pips, be a nice 1 to 7.63. And then from here, again, for this sort of stop loss, I would usually go 15 to 20. For you guys, I'll go 20 to 25. Like for this one up here, I did 25. The only reason I did 25 is because there was news out. And luckily I did, because again, the news caused that manipulation spike into 91.8, which is also the 78.6 fib, which you'll see here, 78.6 fib. So luckily I did that. And then from there, for this one here, for example, I'd be trying to do I'd probably do 25 pips, because you have 9,800 here. So what price could always do is wick up into 9,800 like this. So I would try and maybe cover that. So if you like get like an entry like this, like 25 pips, be fine. Is it a 1 to 3? It's a 1 to 3 to your first level, which is obviously what you want. You need a minimum of 1 to 3 risk reward. That way you're risking 1 to gain 3, and you're always going to be ahead. And then this was to break lower. You continue to hold this and continue to hold this. Again, if this level can break this week, guys, this is some serious, serious money. That's a 1 to 13. That's a almost 1 to 10. So what is that? 23%. But again, let's just look at our first target right here. That's a 1 to 3. That's a 1 to 7.6. That's almost 11. Yeah, that'd be 11% right there. It's enough to pass an FTMO on a 100K account. That's 11K. Like, that's how easy it can be, guys. So that's it for now, guys. Make sure you use risk management. I always suggest doing a 0.5 or 1% maximum. Okay, I'm all about risk management. I don't care how big your lot size is, as long as it is using proper risk management and healthy stop losses. And you know, you're doing good trades. You're not doing 5-10 pips. You're doing solid trades, and you're using good risk management. You can achieve some amazing success in the market, as long as you have patience as well. Okay, you cannot force trades. Let everything come to you. I'll update later in the week once we start seeing some setups. For now, keep an eye on these setups, and I'll probably start updating around Wednesday, Thursday, along with another market video. And if I see anything clean between now and then, I will try and keep an eye out for you guys. But right now, we have a lot of trades running on the mentorship program. Right now, we have USD CAD running around 200 pips total, with further upside, along with GJ, which is running around, I think, let me just measure it here. We have a really big target on GJ. Right now, we're around just under 200 pips on that as well. So we are around 500 pips for market open, at 20% gain already from the three trades it took between Thursday and Friday of last week. So again, 20%, guys, that's 2 FTMOs done, or whatever it is. If you guys don't trade that, you know, that's a lot of money. So That's it, guys. Remember, keep your risk management in check. Focus on the skill set first. The money comes later. It's all about building a healthy and consistent trading plan. There's always going to be losses, but you want small losses and big wins. That's the most important thing. Small losses, big wins. If you guys have any questions, let me know. You can message me here on Discord or get me on Instagram. Thanks, guys.